Okay.
Take your time.
Hello, my name is Thiago, and I'm here today to talk about you, me, and open data, and maybe something about Perl too. In the last year, I'm studying about this stuff, and it's why I try to answer today. Why is Perl can be the superglue for the open data? Open data is a big movement today that you saw in business, in government. So what I try to figure out here is about ideas, motivations, cases, future, business, and the linked data. So I have two answers here to answer. Why is so hard to create applications based on government data? And the second is which knowledge our society needs to be able to use open data? And maybe which knowledge we as developer, as programmer need to know. Okay, it's okay. To make applications. So let's go. First, here is a picture from Epic Graphic that we can understand more what is data. The first box we saw ingredients. This is the data. In the second is the information. It's a cake with that data. The third is a presentation that we have some feeling at the cake. And the knowledge, what we consume. So this is the data. Okay. So just to show a tag cloud to understand more what's open data. Open data needs to be completed primary. The people that put the data can't modify the file or do anything to this file. Another thing is that the data can be readable by some machine. For example, just not for human. Another thing about the open data, it's the open data. Sorry, I'm a little nervous and my English is not very good. Another thing that the data needs to be free as license. Sorry, this is too difficult to me now. Okay, so let's go to some examples that we have in the real world about open data. This is an app that the Japanese cities make to show in real time what is the redistribution in Japan. This is just possible because the government make all this research in Japan and push the open data to the people use this application. So anyone can do something with that. Another thing is the live train map on the London, under the ground. So anyone can make some app to following where is the train is going in the real time too. We can just do that because the open data too. The third, it's the people that share bikes in big cities have some specs that they put the data and put the information about the bikes. So the people can make a lot of apps with that. For example, nobody's the owner of information. So I'm in the London, I can share something about the bikes in a park, for example. And in Brazil, for example, in Rio de Janeiro, the people use this too to share the bikes that we can rent this bike. So this kind of thing is just about people that make data in different countries with different languages and can make this kind of app. Another thing we have that's the evolution of European Union. You can saw what kind of things that the governments in the countries make more. So this is a graph that tried to explain that. Another thing is this website that is called Where Does My Money Go? That we get some data from the government to make a new experience to the user. Because today it's too difficult to go to the government website, try to see the money that government spent. It's too difficult to do that. We speak more this site in this talk. This is a project that I love because I have a lot of ideas to do. It's called Yourtopia. This website, you answer some questions to, like, for example, do you like to spend more money in education or in health? And with your choice, this website shows what is the best country for you, that the government think like you. And this is just possible because these governments have some information in open data. So it's very fun, and I think it's very interesting to the people understand the countries, the difference. Another one is that which is the crime rate in my city, in my states. So I have a lot of types of crime. For example, in one state of Brazil, that we make this website to show the information in this map. We'll talk more about this website too. So we have some motivations about open data. We have 4 main blocks: the government, the people that try to make more transparency. We hope that the government try to do that. Participation and collaboration. Another thing, it's a society that the people needs to participate more with openness philosophy. Another thing, it's about concepts. I think the people on university, the academic people, try to do that. And business try to make something new to win more money and to do more things, whatever. So this graphic is how open data is now. We have some kind of people that is on civic hackers and civic activists that is non-commercial stuff. And we have the people that make something now with data journalism. For example, the Guardian has all the newspaper in open data format today. So I can make a website that I can read online, and I don't care about to sync the data every time, because, for example, if somebody wrote a news on the Guardian, and in my blog I put a link to the Guardian to comment something. So if the Guardian updates this stuff, I can get in my blog too. So in the business, this is a book that the people every time said, when you don't know how to win money, for example, with something, read this book. Because today it's very difficult to understand how to win money for that. And now we have a buzz just in the government stuff. We have a little companies that use this now for do something. But for us to get an ecosystem, a nice ecosystem that to work, we need business, we need companies doing something. So what do you try to say here? You have demand. The people need to do new things with data, but the companies doesn't know how to do that. In my view, in the future, we have some companies that work with urban systems to deliver more service to the people. We have a lot of things about economic stuff. For example, the people to study the economic in one state, one country. Another thing that I think it's growing up fast now in open data is machine to machine, because it's a way to connect apps and device. And now we have just simple protocol to do that, like messages text to communicate to apps or to device. With open data, I think we have devices with semantic that can talk alone without us. I think it's nice. Another thing is data journalism, that I think a lot of newspapers do that now. in Europe, and many stuff with geolocation. But we have a problem today. The real world is not open data yet. So why CPAN and Perl can make our lives easy? The big problem when we don't have open data, stuff or data, we need to process data, do web crawling, and this is what the Perl can do very good. So let's show some example how governments spend money with health. Today in Brazil, to understand this kind of information, you need to go to the official website of the government and just click and click and click and click, and it's very difficult to understand this amount of data. So we can see a graphic in the website like that, but it's not very nice for me. So what we try to do, it's a new experience to the user. So here I can have the box in nested tree that you can click in the box and can go on. For example, if you click in the first box, you can see what the government spend with health. For example, with hospitals, with some action that governments do. And you can go click and see in this graphic how much the government spend by state. Another example is which is the crime rate in my city. We can do, for example, today, entering the website of the government and get Excel files, but we have a lot of problem. Excel file doesn't open data, and we have one file per year, and the name of the crimes change between years, so it's very difficult to understand this kind of information. Another thing, to do the things and to understand more this information, I need the crime numbers, but I want the location, the number of population in the city, so I need to get in this another website that is from government too. So what do you do here in this website? We can enter and fill it up the year, the type of crime, and the city. When you choose these three things, I make a map that's in the place that is big red. You see where the crime is more. Okay. So let's go to the what you want in the future, linked data. So linked data is this network. This is a cloud from the linked open data project that we have a lot of things today that we have in semantic way. So Tim Berners-Lee wrote a text, just a text about design issues about linked data that gives some stars to website about the content. So when you have 1 star, this data is just available on web. When you have 5 stars, you have the content, the data, the semantics. It's free to use and reuse. So what I think the main suggestion today to show the data is the research description framework. It's a metadata model. It's just a way to represent the things. Because today we have content in the files, but you have another files that say what is this content. So, for example, if you have in Wikipedia today, we can see, for example, the bill of Lerwall. And in the bill of Lerwall, you have a lot of things about him. We can read, but the computers doesn't understand what is this data. You need to make some scrapper, some scripts to understand where the Lerwall born, what he will do. With DPpedia project that get this stuff and the contents from the Wikipedia and make this in the semantic way, we can have, for example, we can just ask, for example, where Lerwall born? What is the city, the Lerwall today? You can have this answer because it's all semantic. So this is a little example that the people show in the docs about RDF that represent what is linked data. So we have some place in the web that contain your name, and you have a lot of resources that you can explain who is this place. So we have a big project on Perl about RDF. We have a lot of stuff to do with semantic things, and I think now in Perl we have tools to do when we don't have too much open data, and we have a lot of tools to do when we have open data stuff. Thank you, and sorry for my nerves.